So Mickey Mantle was not the only ball player to be named after a catcher. Gus Bell of the Cincinnati Reds was named after catcher Gus Mancuso. Gus Bell was a very fine ball player who came up with the Pittsburgh Pirates. For some reason, he was not liked much by Branch Rickey, who was the general manager at the time. And in 1952, in October, he was traded to the Cincinnati Reds. Very consistent with the Cincinnati Reds, became a key player. Made all-star teams in 1953, 54, 56, and 57. From 53 to 57, he never hit less than 292, not more than 308. Just a remarkably steady player. Bell's career was kind of winding down as we came through the 1962 expansion draft. He was drafted by the New York Mets. And here's a quote by manager Casey Stengel, filmed during a promotional spot, which he was going over the new Mets lineup and having sometimes trouble remembering people's names. Stengel said, "We got 5 or 6 fellows that's doing very good. And the best played for Hornsby in Cincinnati. Best left-handed, hit 300, done very good. Delighted to have him. Is married, has 7 kids in the station wagon. He drives down here from Cincinnati where he lives." Stengel went on and on, remembering everything except Bell's name. "Yes, sir, he comes down here for spring training with the whole family. And if he can hit for us like he hit for Hornsby, he'd ring the bell. And that's his name, Gus Bell." I like Gus Bell. He was the father of Buddy Bell, who became an all-star third baseman himself. And there is a third generation, David Bell, who made his major league debut in 1995 and is the current manager of the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, you can draw a steady baseball line all the way from today in the Bell family back to 1947, when David Bell's grandfather, Gus Bell, started playing professionally at the Keokuk Pirates in 1947. Hello, everybody. This is Apba Brian with Apba Baseball Classics. Welcome to Game 2 of the Strat-o-matic King of the Hill 1960 tournament. This is the Chicago Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds in Crosley Field. Here are your starting lineups. First for the Cubs. Richie Ashburn will lead off and play center field. Jerry Kendall's the second baseman. Ernie Banks at shortstop. Frank Thomas at first base. George Altman in left field, Ron Santo at third base. Bob Will is in right field, and Sammy Taylor is the catcher. Dick Ellsworth is pitching today. For the Cincinnati Reds, Veda Pinson's in center field and leads off. Eddie Casco at third base. Frank Robinson will hit third and play first base. Wally Post is in left field. Gus Bell in right field. Ed Bailey is the catcher. Billy Martin's the second baseman. The eighth hitter is Roy McMillan, the shortstop, and knuckleballer Bob Perky is the pitcher. We are ready for the first pitch. Bob Perky, a right-hander, will be facing lefty Richie Ashburn. 2-6 is a pop-up to first base. Second base. One down. Here is Jerry Kendall. 2-3 is a ground ball to third base. 5-3, 2 away. Well, here is the 1958 and 59 MVP, Ernie Banks. 4-8 is a fly ball to left field caught by Wally Post. Cubs are 3 up and 3 down in the first. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Dick Ellsworth tolls the rubber for the Chicago Cubs, 3.71 earned run average in 1960. And Veda Pinson leads off for Cincinnati. Ellsworth is a left-handed pitcher, so 2-7 is a fly ball to Richie Ashburn in center field. He makes the catch, 1 down. Eddie Casco. 5-9 is a Strikeout. All right, here is Frank Robinson. 1-9 is going to be a fly ball to center field. And the Reds are 3 up and 3 down. We go to the second, no score. Okay, Bob Perkey was a 17-game winner with a 3.71, a 3.59 earned run average. Here's the pitch to Frank Thomas leading off for the Cubs. 1-5 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Roy McMillan. 1 away. Here is George Altman. 4-8 is a, from the left side, is going to be a first base runner. It's a base on balls. He is a C stealer. They're not going to hold the runner. Ron Santo steps into the box. 3-3 is a foul out to the third baseman, Eddie Casco. All right, it's going to be up to Bob Will to advance the base runner. Here's the pitch to Bob Will. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. That's Billy Martin, who is a 4. 5-4 is going to be a base hit. And that's going to be 2 base advance for Altman. Cubs have first and third with 2 outs. Not holding the runner. And, of course, with 2 outs, the Reds will play the infield back for Sammy Taylor if they pitch to him at all. They're going to walk him. And the bases will be loaded. That brings up the pitcher, Dick Ellsworth. All right, 5-7. Ground ball second base X again. That's going to be Martin. This time 10-4. Check his ERA rating. Martin is an E22. And the roll is 4. 1 base error on Billy Martin. And that lets Altman score. The score is Chicago 1, Cincinnati nothing. Cubs have Ellsworth at first, Taylor's at second, Bob Wills at third, and now the top of the order, Richie Ashburn. 2-3 is, and I should be rolling. I don't know if this is a super advanced rule or what, but I need to roll the 20-sided die with men on base. Forgot that the first couple times. I'll try to remember it from here out. 2-3 is a foul out to the catcher. That ends the inning, but the Cubs get on the board. Go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Chicago. All right, Wally Post will lead off for the Reds. His second year, 1955, was his best year. He 309 with 40 home runs. Dick Ellsworth winds and pitches. 6-9 on the right side is going to be a fly ball to left field, 1 down. Here is Gus Bell. 110 off the left is a fly ball to left field. Here's catcher Ed Bailey, and I dropped the dice on the floor. That is mandatory each game. There's the pitch to Bailey. 2-7 is a swing and miss for strike 3. We go to the top of the third. Cincinnati 0, Cubs 1. Jerry Kendall grounded out to third his first time up. 2-7 is a 1-9 single, 10-20. That's going to be a line out to the second baseman. 1 down. Ernie Banks. 4-8 is a fly to left, 2 outs. Frank Thomas. 4-11 is a fly left X. Left fielder is Wally Post at 4. 8-4, that will probably check his air rating. Yep. Post is at E4. And that's a fly ball left field. He makes the play. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Cubs. Billy Martin leads off the last of the third. Had a rough second inning defensively, allowed a single to go by that he did not get to, and then committed an error on the pitcher, let the run score. See if he can make up on it. Offensively, 3-8 is a fly ball to left field. Clears light hitting shortstop, Roy McMillan. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. Second baseman is Jerry Kendall's at 2. And 6-2 is an out. He makes the play. Brings up the pitcher, Bob Perkey. And 2-8's a strikeout. We go to the fourth, 1-0 Cubs. 3-time All-Star Bob Perkey returns to the mound. He has his best year in 1962 when he won 23 games. He'll be facing George Altman, Ron Santo, and Bob Will. 5-12 is a ground ball pitcher X. Perkey is at E6. Okay, ground ball, he makes the play. 1 out. Ron Santo. 2-6 is a walk. Bob Will. 5-9 is going to be a strikeout. That leads us to the catcher, Sammy Taylor. 2 outs. Ron Santos at first, not being held. 5-2 is a ground ball to shortstop. Roy McMillan makes the play. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Still 1-0 Cubs. Vada Pinson will lead off for the Cincinnati Reds. He was a high school teammate of Frank Robinson and Kurt Flood. There's the pitch to, what outfield that would have been. Man. 2-10 is a ground ball to the pitcher. Eddie Casco. 5-10. Right-hand side, that's a strikeout. And now Frank Robinson. .210 is hit by pitch batter. Hit by pitch ball. Robinson's the first base runner. Ellsworth has retired his first 11 batters in a row. Cincinnati will hold the runner, Wally Post. 2-9 is a 1-19 home run. It's a drive. It might be, it could be, and the first hit of the game for the Reds here in the fourth inning goes deep. And Cincinnati takes a 2-1 lead over the Cubs. Here's Gus Bell. 3-8 is a pop up to first base. 3 outs, but on 2 hits, or 1 hit, and a hit batter. The Reds score 2. We go to the 5th. Cincinnati 2, Chicago 1. Pitcher Dick Ellsworth will lead off the 5th for the Cubs. 1-7 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. 1 away. Richie Ashburn 0 for 2. Steps in the box. 1-3 is a walk. Cincinnati will hold the runner. Jerry Kendall, 5-11, is a switch hitter, so he'd be batting left. Fly ball right field X. That is George Will. And, okay, let me count that as the wild pitcher balk roll. That's a 6. 4 on a 4 is a double, 2 bases. All right, 1 out. Ashburn's at third, Kendall's at second. Here is Ernie Banks. All right, he's going to pitch to Banks. Here's the pitch. 2-8 is a pop out to the shortstop. 2 down. And Frank Thomas, he's 0 for 2. 3-8 is a ground ball to third base, 5-3. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Cincinnati. Dick Ellsworth returns to the mound for the 5th inning. He retired the first 11 batters in the game, but the last 3 have been a problem, and that's where the 2 runs came. Here's a pitch to Ed Bailey, and I lost it. Dice off the board. It's a foul ball. We're going to re-roll the dice. Five-7 is a strikeout. Billy Martin. 1-6 is a fly ball to center field, 2 outs. And now Roy McMillan. Probably the best defensive shortstop of the National League in the 1950s. Led the National League 53-54 along with Johnny Temple in number of double plays. Here's the pitch to Roy McMillan. 1-7 is a fly ball to left field. We go to the 6th, 2-1 Reds. George Altman over 2 with a walk and run scored. That's a 4-10 is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Veda Pinson. He is a 1. 6-1's a mix to play. 1 down. Ron Santo. 110 is a double to center field. And Santo will settle in at second base. Bob Will. It's a possible balk. Let's see. 1-2, it's not. So 4 or 5 is a pop to second base. 2 outs. Here is Sammy Taylor. 4-10, that is a Fly ball left field X. Left fielder is post is a 4. And 12 will be, check his E rating. He is a E4. That means 7 is the play he makes. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Reds. Bob Perky steps in the box for Cincinnati. 6-10 is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Richie Ashburn. Listed as a 3. I'm not too sure about that, but he makes the play. All right, one out to Veda Pinson. 1-4 is a fly ball right field. At a Casco. 2-7 is a single, and that's only the second hit for Cincinnati. C Steeler, they're not going to hold the runner. Frank Robinson's the batter. He was hit by a pitch and scored a run. 6-8 is a ground ball to third base. 5-3. We go to the 7th inning. Still 2-1 Cincinnati. For the top of the 7th, because Chicago's behind by 1 run, they're going to send up a pinch hitter for the pitcher. He is Ed Boucher, formerly of the Philadelphia Phillies, the first baseman. Here's the pitch to Boucher. 5-9 is a strikeout. If you collect baseball cards, the 1957 set, Ed Boucher was left out. He was supposed to be card number 145, but he got in trouble with the law. I won't tell you what he did. But he got 3 years probation for that, and when Topps heard what he did, they did not make his card. Here is Richie Ashburn. 3-4 is a fly ball to left field. To away. Here's Jerry Kendall, who is 1 for 3 with a double. 4-8 is a walk. C Steeler is not going to hold the runner. Bernie Banks is the batter. That's a 4-3 is going to be a ground ball first base X. First baseman is Frank Thomas. He's a 4. Not Thomas, Frank Robinson. And he is a 4. E11. And that's a 7. He makes the play. 3-1. And it's 3-1. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. That's the third out. It is 2-1 Cincinnati. Okay, the new pitcher for the Chicago Cubs is Joe Schaffernoth. He was 2-3 with a 2.76 earned run average. 2.78. He'll be facing Wally Post, Gus Bell, and Ed Bailey. Here's the pitch to Wally Post. 1-4 is a Schaffernoth is a right-hander. Fly ball to right field. 1 down. Gus Bell. 2-6 is a 1-7 home run. 8-20 is a fly ball to right field. That's a fly to right. 2 outs. Billy Martin, or Ed, no, it should be Ed Bailey. .310 is a Double for Ed Bailey. His brother Jim was a pitcher, was on the Reds roster briefly last year. Billy Martin's the batter. 3-9 is a ground ball to second base. 3 outs. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Reds 2 and the Cubs 1. Pitcher Bob Perky has only given up 3 hits in this game. He is beyond his point of weakness, but he is not tired yet. He'll be facing Frank Thomas, George Altman, and Ron Santo. 4-5 is a ground ball to the first baseman. 1 out. George Altman. 2-6 is a 1-4 single, 5-20 line out to second base. 2 outs. Ron Santo. 2-6 is a walk. Second time Santo's been walked, third time he's been on base. Most Cub base runners have been with 2 outs, seems like. Bob Will's the batter. Santo will not be held. Here's the line. And the pitch from Perky, 2-5, is a ground ball to second base. 3 outs. Go to the bottom of the 8th, it's still 2-1 Reds. Roy McMillan will start it off for the Reds. 3-10 is a fly ball to right field. 1 down. Bob Perky will hit for himself. 6-6 is going to be a fly ball to center field. Two outs, and to the top of the order. Brady Pinson came into the league with a bang in his first full year. He hit .316 with 20 home runs. One three is a single. Catches the +1 throwing arm. They're going to hold the runner. I think those chances of steal are very good. I think we'll just, since they're holding, we're going to try to get the hit. Here's the pitch to Casco. That's a 4-10. A fly ball to left field. Go to the 9th. 2-1 Reds. Okay, Bob Perky is going to attempt to go wire to wire. The Cubs will have Sammy Taylor, the pitcher, and Richie Ashburn. There'll be a pitch hitter for the pitcher. Warming up in the bullpen for Chicago is Seth Moorhead, left-hander, and right-hander Don Elston in case they're needed. Here's the pitch to Sammy Taylor here in the 9th inning. 1-4 is the roll. That's going to be a ground ball to Eddie Casco at third. Fires over to first, 1 down. Don Zimmer will be the pitch hitter. Here's the pitch. 2-6 is going to be a single to left field. So the tying run is on. He's a C stealer. They're not going to hold the runner. And the top of the order, Richie Ashburn steps in the box. Here's the pitch to Ashburn, 2-5 is going to be a ground ball B. That's a fielder's choice. First base to shortstop. Zimmer's out. And now Ashburn is the runner at first. B stealer, they're going to hold. It should have been a Reds guy or Cubs. So Ashburn's the runner at first. And here is Jerry Kendall with 2 outs. Ernie Banks is on deck. Here's the pitch to Jerry Kendall. 1-7 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. And that is your ball game. Final score, the Cincinnati Reds 2, the Chicago Cubs 1. We'll be back with a wrap-up. This game featured some solid pitching by both teams. The Cubs scored 1 unearned run on 4 hits and no errors. And the Reds scored 2 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. There was a home run in the game by Wally Post in the 4th inning. That provided the winning runs for the Cincinnati Reds. The winning pitcher was Bob Perkey, 9 innings, no earned runs, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, and the knuckleball missed 6 times for 6 walks. The losing pitcher was Dick Ellsworth, 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. The star of the game would be co-stars Wally Post with a 2-run home run in the 4th inning, and Bob Perkey, complete game, and not quite a shutout, but pitched well enough to have a shutout. The Reds moved to the King of the Hill, the National League, by virtue of their 2-1 victory over the Cubs. They will next take on the San Francisco Giants and Willie Mays at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. Thanks for joining us. Have a good day and God bless.